Howdy, folks. Episode 12 of the Retro Rampage podcast, BTM review. I'm Aaron with Zach. We're going to talk about the crazy asshole Uwe Boll. Uwe Boll, toilet bowl. How do you say his name?
I call him Uwe because that's how it's spelled, and that's what his movies make you say when you watch them.
Now, I know what most of you guys might be saying. Oh, he makes really shitty movies. This is a game podcast. What's the connection? Well, anybody that is actually legitimately hating on Uwe Boll should know that he was kind of the go-to video game shitty adaptation guy there for a while, so there is a connection. And if you didn't know that, then you're just one of these guys that's hating on somebody because it's cool to hate on him, aka Michael Bay, which he's fucking sucks, by the way. But I digress. Uwe Boll, yeah, back in the day he directed House of the Dead, notoriously fucking bad. It is so bad. I don't know if that was his call to do the cut-in in-game footage.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
It's like, hey, let's take the only promising thing about a zombie movie. It's like, what is it in a zombie movie can you have that can save its face? You know, in a zombie movie, you can have bad dialogue. You can have cheesy acting. You can even have bad camera work. You know, look at Resident Evil. It had all those things. The game, the first game. But what is it about that and a lot of these, look at old, Lucio Fulci movies. There's some horrible overdubs, but people stuck around because, you know, the action, the flesh eating, the actual meat of what these zombies do was good enough to keep the movie afloat. Okay, so he took the only thing going potentially for this movie and he just filled it with all these cut-ins from the fucking video game. It's like, oh, we're going to start shooting all these things. Let's lace it with shitty Sega Saturn footage. I about shit my pants when I saw that.
Yeah, it kind of breaks the continuity of the movie when you show the game.
It absolutely does, and it just takes you out of it, period. It's like, whoa, you know, God forbid. I mean, for all we know, there's people out there that didn't know it was based off a game. Can you imagine those people not knowing what the fuck is going on?
They think it's just some bad CG or something.
Maybe they just thought it was like some really bad zombie movie and they saw it for sale at Family Video for $1, some going out of business brick and mortar rental store. Like, oh, you know, I mean, clearly House of the Dead, and that sounds like some C-grade horror movie. And they buy it and they're like, what the fuck is this? And all of a sudden it turns into a Sega Saturn game. And I just think it's absolutely horrible. He also did the Blood Rain movies. Starring,
I haven't seen any of those.
Yeah, those are not good. Starring Christina Loken, however you want to say her name, and Michael Madsen. One trick pony Michael Madsen. He's good at that pony, I'll tell you what. He rides it to death. But no, that shit. But anyway, whatever. He went on a recent rants about, I guess, a Kickstarter. I guess he wanted to make Rampage 3, which God bless him, because I've
actually heard that those Rampage movies are good from people, just to be fair.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it because I know he's not listening to it. No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to call anybody out. But basically, I know a few people that like a lot of really shit movies. And it seems like there's that small niche of like stuck-up snobby filmgoers that seem to gravitate towards the really artsy and shitty movies. And it seems like the bigger pile of shit it is, the more love they're going to get it. Because it's just, you know what I'm saying? Those people that are too cool for school.
Oh, yeah. I can't even imagine anything Uwe Boll does is artsy, though.
Whatever. I mean, it just seems like you want to, there's those guys that want to stick up for the little man. And it's just like, why can't we just call a spade a spade? This is a shit movie. It's like you're trying to find redeeming qualities in something that you're just not. You're trying... And
maybe he's afraid that Uwe Boll will kick his ass in the boxing ring.
Maybe.
Didn't he do that?
he I don't know. He's a crazy German or whatever the hell he is.
Did you hear about that?
Enlighten us.
Oh, I guess like a couple of years ago, he challenged some of his biggest critics into a boxing match.
I do remember that. I want to say they were actually dogging her the Rampage movie or whatever one they were doing.
I forgot what it was.
You know, people say those Rampage movies are, you know, face value okay. I refuse to watch them because, I mean, I get hate for stuff like that, man. I get hate because it's like, oh, you know, he might have a good movie in him for all I know. But you know what? I see a filmmaker or an actor, they're salesmen. You know what? And if they dupe me or sell a bad product to me once or twice, it's within my rights to never buy into whatever they have again. So First impressions mean a lot. And Uwe Boll, we're going to call him Uwe. Uwe Boll is horrible at him. But anyway, he went on this tirade on, I don't know if he was using YouTube or where the source of it is, but basically just calling it, his potential fan base out. And God knows, maybe the people that even supported his movie. I get it, they didn't meet the goal for Rampage 3. But he basically insulted the people that did maybe throw in a little bit for it. But I don't know, man. He's a baby. But God bless him for continuing to want to make shit movies. I guess he's had a thick skin for the longest time. It was only a matter of time before he fucking boiled over.
Yeah. For a while, he kept making movies and people just kept giving him money for no reason. But I guess they stopped and he needed to turn to Kickstarter for it.
It had to have been a novelty, the novelty thing. I don't know, because I can't explain any other reason why anybody would give him any kind of funding, even if it was indie funding, because it had to have been like, look, this is Uwe Boll. He's so reviled and so hated and notorious that there's going to be enough curiosity money that we're going to turn a profit if we only give him so much. And maybe that well just ran dry.
I remember hearing like somebody was talking about a loophole where in the country he comes from, where if you make a flop, you actually get more money than if it was a hit or something like that.
Whew, I'd love for you to line me on that one.
I don't remember what they were saying, but that they kept, like, people were saying that's how he kept getting funding for each movie and everything.
But where did he come from? Where did Uwe Boll unearth from? Like, where did his career start? What put him on the map to sort of even get these shitty projects? Because I think of someone like Paul W.S. Anderson, which he's another guy who pretty much specializes in video game adaptations. Mortal Kombat was his very first movie, and he got a slew of other movies after that kind of bombed, and like Event Horizon and whatever. And now he's been babying the Resident Evil franchise. So he's like a higher class Uwe Boll.
Yeah.
But, I mean, so it's like, where did Uwe Boll come from?
I have no. I think he's from Germany, but I don't know how he got started or anything.
Yeah, I mean, did he just materialize? Is he like? I mean, was he born this middle-aged wanker guy? I don't know. Like, I want to read his biography. I want to know why he's so angry and why somebody with such a lack of talent would even enter this field. He's fascinating, really. But anyway, I think the whole meat of this is just it makes me want to talk about video game adaptation films, and most of them have been really piss poor. Maybe we can talk about why they've been piss poor. And maybe we can talk about the maybe rare couple that actually aren't too bad. I mean, I think about, for me, the best one's Mortal Kombat. I mean, I know that movie gets a lot of fucking hate.
Yeah, I like that movie too.
And I know it's funny because its strength and its weakness is found in the same area. Because it's strong because it didn't oversaturate the film like a movie like Street Fighter did, where it's like, hey, let's throw a cameo of every single character that's in Super Street Fighter 2 in this one movie at the script's cost. We're gonna make T-Hawk one of Guile's like privates, and we're gonna make Cammy one of his we don't give a fuck if it's not in continuity with the games. And it was just ridiculous. DJ is going to be a Bison henchman, and Zangief's, none of it made any sense. Now, Mortal Kombat, that's what it had going for it, is they really didn't stray too far away from the simplicity of the first the first game. Now, they might have added a couple of, like Jax had a cameo, but it was done in a classy way. It's like, you know what? Jax probably would likely been in that, that scenario of Sonya getting on the boat because that was her partner. So little things like that. But they had Scorpion, Sub-Zero, you had Reptile, you had Shang Tsung, you had Johnny Cage, you had like the classic slew of people, and it focused on them. But at the same time, I think they did a few things that were kind of outside. They kind of took a few liberties.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously making Christopher Lambert as Raiden, but that's also the strong point. He was fucking great in that movie, man.
And then he changes in the sequel.
And then he changes to James Remar in the sequel. The sequel's horrible. We don't even have to discuss that. I mean, that's just... Yeah. Let's make this... The sequel did the Street Fighter thing. Let's throw every character up to date, even up until Mortal Kombat 4, and throw them in this one big mess abortion of a film. Like, even if we have to sacrifice the continuity of their character storylines, we're going to make Shinnok Shao Kahn's father. We're going to make Shao Kahn the brother of Raiden. We're going to do the fucking we're going to do the Star Wars. The whole Star Wars twist. They did it. Wait, if Shao Kahn's father is now the god, then what does that make Khan? Shao Kahn is my brother. Lightning cracks. Like mind blown. Like, oh, fucking stupid, man. So
I remember I always liked, like I saw that movie when I was really young, like around the time I started playing the games, and I really liked how they made Scorpion's his get over here
a
guy.
living creature inside of his hand.
Yeah, I always liked that. I always wondered why they didn't do that in any of the games, because I thought that was pretty cool.
Well, and yeah. I mean, when I saw it as a kid, I liked it too. And honestly, I didn't know any better because I got the first Mortal Kombat on home console around the same time as the movie came out. And I know the movie came out sort of with a campaign with Mortal Kombat 3, and it was all tied together. And so I played like 1 and 2 at the arcades, but you know, I didn't get to play the arcades enough to where I really noticed that was like a harpoon on a stick or whatever, you know, shooting out of his arm. So yeah, I thought it was really cool, but that, you know, now it's kind of dumb.
It's really cheesy looking when it comes out.
Oh, it's really cheesy looking, and the effects are horrible. The thing is back in the day, mid-90s, especially New Line Cinema, mid-90s CGI effects, stuff like that, and Lawnmower Man. Now it looks like something that you'd find on the Sci-Fi Channel, but back then it looked cool, and it did the trick, you know, for a kid, and it not to mention, it just had some really good character actors in it. You know, Cary Tagawa was an awesome Shang Tsung, and you know, Trevor Goddard pretty much embodied Kano and the way they portray Kano now. And even though it looked like a giant Muppet baby, I love the Goro. The Goro animatronic back in the day was fucking so cool.
Yeah, I like Goro.
Now it looks ridiculous. None of the vocal effects are synced with the lips in the movie. It looks absolutely horrible. And on the Blu-ray, you can literally see the puppeteer shit.
Oh, you can?
Oh, the Blu-ray, everybody out there, the Mortal Kombat Blu-ray looks phenomenal. It really does, and you wouldn't expect it because it's a $5 to $7.99 Blu-ray, and it's a 1995 release. You wouldn't think it to be that good of a transfer, but it's one of those Blu-rays that really surprises you, and it's cool because it's also one of those Blu-rays, because it looks good, it exposes all its cheapness.
Yeah,
and like never before, man. Like you can see the latex of Kano's little eyepiece.
Oh, yeah.
You could see the makeup, and it looks so fucking cheesy. And like I said, you could see the puppeteering and the strings and shit with Goro. And the most painful to watch is that whole scene where all 3 of the heroes, they meet on Shang Tsung's boat, and then Raiden introduces himself to all of them. You know, and he's doing that whole thing. One of you 3 will decide the outcome of the tournament. All that shit. He's doing that. Okay, that whole backdrop is fucking fake.
Oh,
and no, because they're on the ship at night. In the background is a starry night. On the Blu-ray, you can tell it's nothing but a stage, and that starry night is a fucking curtain with holes in it. Dude, you could see it. The sky has wrinkles. It's a fucking curtain.
That's awesome.
It is ridiculous. So, but anyway, whatever. For all its flaws, I think it's a great movie. Mortal Kombat Annihilation was horrible. You know, I mean, there's a Super Mario movie that was sort of the first big venture out into the film world, and you know, that's really divided, man. I mean, I guess for nostalgia purposes, here's the thing about Mario. It's to my dying day, I'll say it's a piece of shit movie, but it's insanely quotable.
Yeah.
Nobody touches President Koopa, but you said he was one evil egg-sucking son of a snake. Did I lie? I mean, there's so many awesome quotes in it, man. And, you know, there's fucking Toad. Oh, my God. I don't know what they're going for with that movie. They felt like, I mean, I get it. They didn't have the technology back then. I mean, if that movie came out today, they would just make a big Pixar-style CGI movie.
Yeah.
And they would be able to recreate all the fantasy with animation. But back then, they're like, how are we going to bring this concept to the big screen? We got to somehow twist it. Yeah, I mean, Dino World.
I got an idea. How about there's a gun and you shoot it at somebody and it de-evolves them back into a monkey, and then Dennis Hopper can say monkey. That's like that's the quote I always remember for that movie.
See, it's funny because the quote that maybe me and like my brother say the most is from that exact same scene, but it's a different one. Whenever we want something, we always go, "Give me that Devo gun! Give me that Devo!" When he takes it, "Give me that Devo gun!" And that's when he shoots the mayor.
Yeah,
monkey. You know,
I always liked how the Goombas look.
Goomba.
They look nothing like the game, but I always thought they looked cool.
Go. I love when they're fucking dancing in the elevator, and they're like Mario's behind them, holding their hips, swaying with them. It's so.
And then it has that obvious ending where they tried to set up a sequel, and then it never.
I know
happened.
how embarrassing. That's like the people that were behind that these days. You gotta imagine they cringe. Even John Leguizamo and the actors, like, who are they kidding? They were that confident this is going to be such a mass success. You know? Oh, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, I believe. You're not going to believe. And it was so lame. Like, what kind of... Even if they were guaranteeing us a sequel and they had... That was the most obvious thing in the world that, hey, we have no idea what we're going to do for a sequel, but we have to say something generic to leave a hook in there.
You're never going to believe this. I believe.
I believe.
That's all she had to say.
That's so fucking broad. I mean, now, in today's grand big scheme of things, when we have these big Marvel cinematic shared universes and stuff like that, they're thinking 20 steps ahead, so they can literally plant these Easter egg scenes, at the end of all these movies.
Oh, yeah.
And literally present the concept for the next movie because they got it planned out. But there's no more of this, I believe. It's fucking stupid, man. So, Mario, maybe that falls somewhere in the middle, man. Maybe that's not a bad, maybe it's not good. You know why I like mud? It's clean and it's dirty.
That's the quote I was trying to remember, but I couldn't. I felt so bad.
It's clean and it's dirty at the same time. Man,
that's awesome.
I love it. This used to be my office, and Koopa needed me close by. fucking ugly bird lady, dude.
Yeah.
Koopa needed me close by. I'm like, gross. President Koopa is the president. He's this dictator, and you're the best he can get.
Remember the, what was it, Daisy's dad or whatever that was turned into...
Yeah, Lance Henriksen played the dad.
He turned into a fungus or something.
He was the fungus that was just, surrounding the entire town, the entire whatever. It was ridiculous. And he gets a little cameo where he turns back, and he's just like, oh, love those plumbers. But... I love it, man. Trust the fungus.
That should be a fan commentary.
Oh, it should, man. I used to have, not to sidestep too much, I used to have a 16-inch Bob Hoskins Super Mario talking pull string doll. And it was plastic. It was like an action figure. And, dude, it looked awesome. And I remember it was hidden in, our closet. My mom used to hide Christmas gifts in there. And then one day, I wasn't snooping, I swear, but one day I heard it go off by itself. Because it would say a few different lines, and it was, nobody touches my tools. And I was like, what is that? And then I heard another one, women love a Mario. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And then the other one was, trust the fungus. I'm like, oh my God, that's fucking Mario from the movie. I know that anywhere. Women love a Mario. I love when Mario bites the rock out of Big Bertha's tits.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'm just saying, man, once again, and the last thing I'll mention about that movie is, applause for not moving forward in the profession of being a thespian after, back in the 50s, we would paint white people to be black people. We literally, in Breakfast at Tiffany's, we taped Mickey Rooney's eyes to be a Chinaman. For God's sakes. Okay, so it's still okay 20 years ago to cast a Mexican or a Puerto Rican or whatever John Leguizamo is as an Italian.
I thought you were going to go with...
Bob Hoskins! Bob Hoskins is an Italian. He's British, and I don't know where his lineage comes from, but... I don't know, man. Where'd you think I was going with it?
I thought you were going with, what's that dude's name that was on Short Circuit?
Steve Guttenberg?
No, the other dude.
I don't remember, man. It's been so long since I've seen Johnny Five's Alive. I don't.
That movie's awesome, too. It was the guy that was Steve Guttenberg's buddy. They actually painted his face to look like an Indian guy, and I think he was one of the villains in the Super Mario Brothers movie.
This is I'm not trying to sidestep from video game based stuff for too long, but the last thing I'll mention about that whole little topic is I watched Desert Heat recently, a Jean-Claude Van Damme favorite of mine, and the actor who played Mr. Professor Vargas from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. What else did he play? He was the the monkey grinder guy, from Batman Returns. With the monkey, the guy with the ass eyes, they painted his face with mystic spray tan, and he was an Indian guy. Who is going to pay for all of this? And he gave the most fucking racist accent and performance in that movie. I'm like, this is absolutely asinine. But whatever, man. God bless it. So, video game films. Gave you an example of a good one, Mortal Kombat. I gave an example of one I'm kind of in the middle with, but there's a whole slew of them, man. I can't think of too many more that are good. You have Street Fighter that's it's just barely almost so bad that it's good, but I'm sorry, it just teeters on. It's just bad. There's some great quotes in that one, too.
I haven't seen that one in so long.
Dude, there is fucking so many good quotes in that one. I mean, congratulations, General Bison. That's great news. On the contrary, I mourn. Oh, you see, I hoped to challenge Colonel Guile in hand-to-hand combat. You know, it's fucking stupid. And, like, I love it when he's making that movie, the casting of that movie is ridiculous.
Yeah.
We're going to cast, a Native American as a Ty Sagat, kickboxing champion. And we're going to cast Puerto Rican or Costa Rican? What is Raul Julia? One of those things? Either way, he's not a Thai warlord. We're going to cast a Belgian as our all-American American flag tattooed Colonel Guile. And there's that fucking quote, man. Do you think we've lost our minds? No. You've lost your balls. So fucking bad, man.
I got one that I remember that I liked when I was a kid.
Oh, what's that?
Double
Quick,
Dragon.
James the Channel! Oh, starring Scott Wolf and Robert Patrick.
Yeah.
God, man. And I actually never watched that. You can tell me if that was any good.
I liked it when I was a kid.
How does it hold up nowadays?
Not very good. There's like the Obobo guy. He's like the guy that you see in the beginning of the game. That I think he's the guy that like grabs her and walks off. And he's like some monster looking guy, and he's got like a mohawk or something. And it's got what's her name from Who's the Boss? Oh,
Alyssa Milano. That's right. That's right. She's hot.
Yeah, she has like she has like a Slim Shady haircut in it though.
Oh, it's like this butch top.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. She's still hot, man. It's okay. Maybe no Embrace the Vampire Poison Ivy hot.
Oh yeah.
I think that was anybody that's my age. You're 28, you're 29. I think I'm not alone when I say, I lost my hand virginity to a blurry Skinamax version of Poison Ivy, or
the vampire,
the vampire, Embrace the Vampire. So, but anyway, I don't know. There's been so many. I mean, especially big game now, and obviously the most successful. Well, they had Tomb Raider and they had what's her face on board with that, Angelina Jolie, which I guess gave it some sort of Hollywood credibility, and that was a big hit. They had the sequel, which wasn't such a big hit, and then so that was a real big success. But nowadays it's all about the Resident Evil franchise. Let's do like 7 or 8 of these damn movies.
Yeah,
and
I've still never seen any of them all the way through.
Really? See, everybody keeps telling me, they get better because I saw the first one in theaters, and me and my oldest friend in the world, Todd, aka Riverman, if you guys listen to any other podcasts, but we were big fans of zombies, and we were big fans of the original Resident Evil, and especially back then, we were big fans of stuff like the Fulci and the old Romero films.
And Romero was supposed to do the movie, actually.
This was back in the day when they were still in talks with him, and I remember that, and that was big news to us. And anyway, he dropped out, and we still had interest in seeing it, and we were just excited because this is way before The Walking Dead kind of made zombies mainstream again. So we were just excited to have a movie centered on zombies in the big screen, getting some mainstream attention.
Yep.
So we went and saw it, and it was the worst piece of shit I've ever seen in my life. It was so bad. I mean, I don't know how you could get worse. And no, actually, I take it back. I think a lot of people say the first one's the best one.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? Like, this movie's the best one. It's all downhill from here is what you're telling me. 7, 8.
I remember my cousin went and watched the second one, and he tried to get me to go, and I wouldn't go because I hated the first one so much. I didn't even finish the first one. And
it's so bad, man. It was a big CGI mess, and, and they just made their own story and created the Alice character, and yeah. I don't know. And, I lost all credibility with James Cameron. Fun fact, he did some interview like in this past year where somebody asked him what his guilty pleasure was, and he says, well, he's that cliche answer of, I don't believe in guilty pleasures, but he says, I absolutely love the first Resident Evil movie. And I'm like, what? Like, this is a guy who gave us Terminator 2 Judgment Day. This is the guy who gave us True Lies and the original Terminator and like The Abyss. And this guy liked Resident Evil. What? And he also liked AVP. I'm like, James Cameron, no wonder you don't make good movies anymore. Because you don't watch good movies. Absolutely horrible. This is why you're fucking doing Avatar. But anyway, Resident Evil sucks. It pretty much starts at what? Did we miss one?
Oh, no, you can go ahead. I was going to bring up something else now.
Oh, well, nothing. I was going to end it right there because I can't think of another good one besides Mortal Kombat that's still, you know what? I'm a huge cinephile, but I've watched Mortal Kombat more than any other movie, just because I wore it out when I was a kid, and I still watch it to this day because it just has such a great nostalgia factor, and it's insanely quotable too. And yeah, besides that, you know, the best we're gonna get is some movies that are at least memorable for their one-liners and their quotes. But anyway, what were you gonna say, Zach?
I was gonna ask you because I don't like the movie, but I know a lot of people that do, so I wanted to mention it. Where do you stand on like the Silent Hill movie?
You know what? We didn't bring up the Silent Hill movie. I know a lot of people do like that. I thought it was shit. I saw it in the theaters, and I thought it was garbage. And from what I remember, wasn't it like a mix of the first one and the third one together? I think it was like a weird hybrid. Like, you know, they made the chick the character, and
oh yeah, they made the mom
They made the mom kind of like in a third one. They started.
The second movie is actually the third game.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Just skipped the best game, I guess.
So many people liked it. Yeah, I know, the best one. I know, and they totally missed a great opportunity to cast the protagonist, Jeff Daniels. Because I always thought he looked like a really tired, kind of thinner Jeff Daniels. Like, I mean, I could see him in that role. Yeah. But
it could start out with him in the bathroom taking a dump, like in Dumb and Dumber.
Flush, you bastard. But yeah, so I didn't like Silent Hill, man. I didn't see the second one, but I really didn't like Silent Hill. And
the second one's really bad.
Really, the first one. I know a lot of people that really like that too. But that's a good way to kind of round this whole episode and discussion out. Is let us know. I mean, I want to know what you guys think. I mean, believe me, there's a lot of you out there that are gonna be like, "Oh, Mortal Kombat's a piece of shit." I know it's got cheesy effects. I know when Reptile forms from the statue and jumps from that platform, Shang Tsung misses his cue. I know. Have you ever seen that?
No.
It's not Cary Tagawa's fault because it's the people in post that added the animation, but they fucking missed the cue. Like, Shang Tsung totally looks down as to watch it jump from the platform a whole 2 seconds before it actually does.
Oh yeah, I think I've seen stuff like
it's
that.
Just look, I know it's flawed, but it's good. And I know a lot of you are going to say, "Oh, that movie's absolutely totally garbage." And I know a lot of you are going to be like, "Oh, Silent Hill rules," or even, you know, Resident Evil rules. But I think we can all sort of take comfort in the fact that hopefully we all agree that Mortal Kombat Annihilation is the fucking worst. It's just got so many what the fuck moments that you don't know why they were in there. Like the new look. Like, why did Raiden come out of the Temple of the Gods with a fucking haircut?
Dude, I remember. Yeah, I remember watching that movie, like, because the first one ends with Shao Kahn being a huge guy in the sky and stuff.
Yeah,
and then he's just a guy with the Halloween costume on.
It's a fucking horrible rubber. They couldn't even get Hollywood couldn't give us a cool like Shogun helmet with a skull mask. I mean, I've seen better helmets like that on like fucking community theater. It's like, but they gave us this rubber flapping mask that they got at like some mom and pop brick and mortar fucking Halloween store. I just there's so, like I said, tons of what the fuck moments. Without your weapons, you're no match for Motaro. Fucking Jax's rip-off arms are so stupid. I'm done talking about it. Some guy that looks like a roided up Tim Curry playing Motaro. I just can't do it anymore. But let us know what you agree with and what you disagree with. I've been Aaron. This has been Zach, and you've all been wonderful. Thank you, guys.